Greetings to all our friends in Bhutan, and greetings to different people around the world who has sort of showed interest in listening to this. I feel very fortunate to have met or received the teachings of Pema Lingpa from Jabji Dujum Jigre Yeshidwaji. I grew up in Bhutan, so Pema Lingpa is very, especially when I was growing up, Pema Lingpa was a very, a thing that happens in our day-to-day life. As a folklore, as legend at times, and also very, very special, our own Bhutanese, fellow Bhutanese, so to speak. Our king who reigned the kingdom of Bhutan is very much connected to Pema Lingpa DNA, so to speak. I will try my best to speak this special prayer by Khandro Yeshe Tsogyal, which was later discovered by great Pema Lingpa. I'm emphasizing that I'm going to try my best because this is not an ordinary prayer. This prayer consists of basically everything from A to Z of Buddha Dharma, so to speak. This is a Pema Lingpa's treasured teaching. And like all the treasured teaching, we should never think that Pema Lingpa wrote this. It's not as if Pema Lingpa had a pencil and an eraser. He then wrote it, erased, thought about it, construct the sentence, read it again and again. See whether it's beautiful, poetic, readable. It doesn't work like that. Before I go ahead with this treasure teaching, I should really tell you this. This is a Mahayana teaching, and especially a Vajrayana teaching. So the listeners to this teaching have to be really broad-minded. And when I say broad-minded, I'm talking about, you have to be prepared to go beyond this very limited, narrow, rational, scientific, limited human way of thinking. If you think of, if you think in terms of certain logic, certain language, within a certain boundary, that's all you get. That's what you are asking for. But if you can sort of make your room bigger, of course, ideally, really vast and receptive, then it's possible that you can actually get a lot out of these treasure teachings. And by the way, it's not too far-fetched too, I have recently tried my best, I think for the 10th time, to read 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriela Garcia Marquez. Last time I gave up after 10 pages. This time I think I reached about 50 pages and then I had to give up. I can't remember all those names still. And there is actually, I've read it somewhere that Gabriela Garcia, I don't know, when he was a Colombian, right? So when he went for a holiday with his wife, as he was driving, the first sentence of the 100 Years Solitude, 100 Years of Solitude, the first sentence, something to do with the ice. I don't know whether if any one of you have read it, you would remember. Something to do with it, like looking at the ice. This sentence somehow appeared while he was driving on his way for a holiday, which they have prepared for a long time. They've been wanting to do this holiday. And when this sentence occurred in his head, he told his wife, look, I have to turn back. Something is coming to my head. Holiday need to be canceled. It just I can't stop. Something is happening in my head. And he turned around and supposedly he wrote this long novel. Now, you can find this out. Well, there are unfortunate vessels like myself who can't go beyond 50 pages still. There's still a lot more fortunate beings who can understand Gabriela Garcia Marquez out there. They are raving about Gabriela Garcia Marquez. I'm telling you this to give you that it's really not far-fetched, this treasure teaching thing. If you could understand if you let your mind, if you give chance to your mind, if you let it explore and expand what this mind can do and how, what kind of inspiration it can, like what can inspire this mind. It's really, really amazing. But we in general, we human beings, especially the modern human beings, we are really, really depriving ourselves from this very thing. We just don't give enough attention to the most important thing that we have, which is mind. Okay, we give so much, man has gone, people are smart enough to go to the moon, trying to go to Mars. Some amazing thing has achieved. Antibiotics, I don't know, vaccinations, but somehow we just don't pay enough attention to this mind. It did once upon a time, during the Buddha's time, Shakyamuni Buddha's time. Obviously, Buddhism, Buddha Dharma, that's all they, one could almost say that's all they care about, mind. If there is no, if basically Buddhism is all about mind. And around that time, Buddha's time, there were incredible thinkers in India and China. And they also, I think there's a traces that they actually paid a lot of attention to this mind business. But I don't know, for some reason, we have never been putting enough effort or attention. Well, now a lot of scientists and a lot of scholars are saying that probably, especially with the arrival of the artificial intelligence and the world as it is now, we human beings are forced now to think about this mind. Finally. So, if you can pay some attention to the matter of mind, you will really understand the vastness and the depth of the phenomena of Pema Lingpa, and therefore Khandro Rinpoche Tsogyal's prayer, and many others. Actually, this is one small part of a much larger Pema Lingpa teaching. Okay, now talking about how important mind is the very subject we will be, that is the quintessence of the so-called aspiration, right? Aspiring, wishing, prayer, beseeching. This is what the mind does. So that's exactly what we are covering here with the Mahaguru prayer. Just so that we will have the gist of this incredibly profound and vast prayer, I may sort of go everywhere. What I'm saying is I'm not going to go through the stanzas in order. Sometimes it helps us to really kind of go, you sort of, mix it a little bit, go to the top, go to the bottom, so that we have the full picture. Because this is such a profound prayer.